What happens when AI stops assisting and starts executing? That's not a hypothetical question anymore. Right now, today, in March 2026, companies around the world are deploying AI systems that don't wait for a brief, don't wait for your approval, and don't wait for Monday morning. They launch campaigns, they shift budgets, they write copy, choose audiences, buy ad placements, and optimize performance, all without a single human typing a prompt. And here's the twist, most of those campaigns are outperforming the ones humans built. Welcome back to the show. I'm Rohit Shetty, and today we are going deep on one of the most important and honestly one of the most unsettling shifts happening in the marketing world right now, Agentic AI. What it is, how it works, the very real risks nobody wants to talk about at conferences, and what it means for your career, your team, and your brand. What is Agentic AI? The definition people keep getting wrong. Let's start with definitions because I want you to actually understand this, not just nod along. Most people, when they hear AI in marketing, they are picturing something like ChatGPT. You type in a prompt, you get copy back, you edit it, you post it. That is AI as a tool. You are still the decision maker. The AI is essentially a very fast, very articulate intern. Agentic AI is something fundamentally different. Here's the clearest definition I've come across, and it comes from Google's own Think with Google team published just last month in February 2026. They say, and I'm paraphrasing here, that a prompt is a command given to a tool where the human provides the reasoning. An AI agent is an autonomous system that independently plans, executes, and iterates to achieve a goal. Said differently, an agent is a thing that does a thing. And an agentic system is a group of agents orchestrated to accomplish a larger goal. Think of it like this: traditional marketing automation is a train on a fixed track. Agentic AI is a self driving car. You set the destination, your business goals, and the AI figures out the route, navigates the obstacles, and keeps improving as it drives. And here's what makes agentic systems truly unique compared to everything that came before them. According to researchers and practitioners in the space, agentic AI brings together four capabilities that rarely lived in the same place before. 1. Reasoning. The ability to think through problems, not just match patterns. 2. Memory. The ability to retain context across sessions and campaigns. 3. Tool use. The ability to actually interact with other software, your CRM, your ad platforms, your email system. And 4. Delegated authority. The ability to make decisions that were previously human judgment calls. That fourth one is where it gets really interesting and really complicated. We're not talking about AI suggesting a subject line. We're talking about AI that decides to shift 40% of your paid budget from Google to LinkedIn because it detected a pattern in your pipeline data and does it overnight before you've even had breakfast. How autonomous workflows actually work. Okay, so let's get practical. How does this actually work under the hood? I want to walk you through a real world example, the kind of workflow that's already running at forward thinking companies right now. Imagine you're a B2B SaaS company. You have a new product feature launching. In the old world, here's what happens. Your marketing team holds a kickoff meeting, someone builds a campaign brief, a copywriter drafts emails, a designer makes banners, someone sets up the ad targeting, and after 2 weeks of back and forth, the campaign goes live. Then you wait for data, analyze it manually, and make adjustments at the next weekly meeting. In the agentic world, here's what the same scenario looks like. A research agent crawls your CRM, your competitive intelligence tools, and relevant industry publications to understand your audience segments and what's resonating with them right now. A scoring agent takes that data, enriches it with firmographic signals and real time intent data from third party sources and prioritizes the highest value accounts. A personalization agent then drafts tailored messaging for each segment, not a generic email blast, but content that references the specific pain point that account cluster is experiencing. A channel agent decides whether email, LinkedIn, paid search, or a combination is the right vehicle based on historical performance and current audience signals. And a campaign optimization agent monitors performance in real time 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, reallocating budget, pausing underperformers, spinning up A B tests, and surfacing anomalies the moment they appear. What used to take 2 weeks now takes a few days, in some cases, a few hours. And here's what the data says. According to research from Glean, companies implementing autonomous agent components into their marketing automation achieve average returns of $5.44 for every $1 invested. That's a 544% return on investment over 3 years. Early adopters of Agentic AI marketing systems report 7x higher conversion rates, faster campaign execution, and stronger marketing sales alignment, all while reducing costs. As per Landbase, 2026, one pharmaceutical agency that used multiple AI agents to source scientific claims, draft newsletters and ads, and check regulatory compliance, they doubled their conversion rates compared to traditional methods and needed 40% fewer resources to create campaigns. This is not a future projection. This is now what's happening right now. The news you need to know. Let me give you a rapid fire briefing on where things stand as of early 2026, because the pace of change here is genuinely hard to keep up with. McKinsey's State of AI report found that 62% of organizations are at least experimenting with AI agents. 23% have already started scaling. 88% of enterprises report using AI in at least one business function. But here's the sobering number. Only about one third are actually scaling. The gap between experimentation and real deployment is where the opportunity is hiding. According to Gartner, by the end of 2026, 40% of enterprise applications will include task-specific AI agents built right in. That means the tools you're already paying for today will soon have autonomous capabilities you haven't even turned on yet. And from WC's AI agent survey from May 2025, 52% of senior executives say AI agents are broadly or fully adopted across their company. Only 4% say they have no plans to adopt. That ship has sailed. Google Marketing Live in 2025 introduced something they call Agentic AI Experts Systems designed to autonomously manage and optimize your ad campaigns. There, your Google Ads expert agent proactively identifies performance anomalies, like a broken landing page causing a conversion drop, and resolves them or alerts you instantly. Unlike previous automation suggestions, this agent acts first and tells you after. OpenAI's February 2026 rollout of ads inside ChatGPT, which by the way now processes 72 billion messages per month, marks a pivotal shift in how AI platforms monetize and how brands need to think about AI native advertising. And here's a wild one. AI source traffic to websites increased 527% from January to May 2025 alone. The way people discover your brand is fundamentally changing, because increasingly it's not people doing the discovery, it's AI agents discovering you on their behalf. Startups like Dreamwell AI, which automates up to 90% of influencer campaign workflows, recently secured 45 million in Series B funding. Companies like Clinch have built what their CEO calls an orchestration operating system for advertising, where Fortune 500 clients have actual conversations with AI agents about their campaign strategy and historical performance data in plain language in real time. The global AI agent market was valued at roughly $5 to $7 billion in 2025. Analysts project it exceeds $50 billion by 2028. And agentic commerce alone, where AI agents are completing or heavily influencing purchase decisions, could represent a $50+ billion market by 2030. The velocity of this is unlike anything we've seen in marketing technology, ever. The risks nobody wants to talk about at conferences. Okay? I promised you we'd talk about the uncomfortable stuff. And here it is. I want to use an analogy I came across recently that I think is really important. When railroads arrived in the 1800s, they were miraculous. They shrank the world, moved goods, connected cities, and they also killed people, lots of them. In 1890 alone, more than 500 people died from railroad related accidents. Not because railroads were inherently evil, because the technology arrived before the systems, standards, and signals existed to govern it. Sound familiar? Agentic AI is arriving in marketing right now, and the governance systems are not keeping pace. Here's what the data shows: only 8% of marketing teams currently have proper AI governance frameworks in place. 8%. And yet, 21% are already testing agentic systems in live environments with real budgets and real customers. Let me walk you through the real risks one by one. Risk number one: brand safety at machine speed. When a human campaign manager makes a bad decision, you find out at the next Monday morning, stand up. When an AI agent makes a bad decision, it's already executed it 10,000 times across 12 channels in the time it took you to read this morning's Slack messages. An AI agent optimizing for click through rate might, without proper guardrails, start placing your ads next to content that is completely off brand or worse, harmful. It's not malicious, it's optimization without values. And fixing it after the fact is an PR nightmare. Risk number two: the data quality problem. Here's a quote I keep coming back to from Oz Etzioni, CEO of Clinch. He says, and I'll paraphrase, you cannot just create an agent and let it run, it will be clueless. The quality of your data really determines how good your agent is. Agentic AI is only as smart as the data you feed it. Garbage in, garbage out, but now at autonomous scale with budget authority and campaign execution power. If your CRM is messy, your attribution model is broken, or your historical data reflects biased performance benchmarks, your AI agent will confidently and autonomously replicate those problems across every campaign it touches. Risk number three: hallucination and errors in the wild. Large language models can hallucinate, confidently stating incorrect information. In an agentic context, a hallucination isn't just an awkward paragraph in a blog post. It could be an incorrect product claim in a live ad, a pricing error repeated across automated email sequences, or a misattributed statistic in a regulatory sensitive industry. Key risks identified by analysts include unauthorized purchases, misuse of personal information, opaque decision paths, hallucinations, fraudulent interactions, and errors in cross agent communications. Any one of these in a live campaign environment is a serious problem. Risk number four: the accountability gap. When a human campaign manager makes a mistake, you know who made it. When an agentic system makes a mistake, the question becomes, who is responsible? The team that deployed it, the vendor that built it, the data scientist who configured the guardrails, the CMO who approved the project. This accountability gap is not a hypothetical. It's a legal and organizational challenge that most companies have not figured out yet. And as agentic systems gain more authority over budget and customer interactions, this question becomes more urgent, not less. Risk number five: the erosion of brand ownership. Here's the one that keeps the most senior marketing leaders up at night. As AI agents, including buyer side agents acting on behalf of customers, become more sophisticated, brands increasingly lose control over their own narrative. Your customers' AI assistants are researching products, comparing options, and making purchasing recommendations without visiting your website, reading your copy, or engaging with your meticulously crafted brand story. The AI agent summarizes your product based on aggregated data, not your carefully crafted messaging. If third party reviews mention issues, the AI will surface them, whether you like it or not. And on the output side, content volume, speed, and variation are becoming close to free, which means good enough, creative is collapsing in value. If everyone's AI agent is producing good campaigns, the differentiator is no longer execution. It's strategy, judgment, and authentic human creativity. I don't say any of this to scare you away from the technology. I say it because the people who navigate this thoughtfully will have a massive advantage over the people who either ignore it or adopt it recklessly. The future of marketing roles. What does your job actually become? This is the part people always want to get to. What does this mean for me? For my job? For my team? Let me be real with you. Some roles will change dramatically, some will disappear. But here's the thing most people miss: an entirely new category of roles is also being created. And the people who lean into that transition will be the ones who thrive. Google's Think with Google team published something really useful about this. They said the era of the tool operator is ending. We're in the age of the agent manager. The shift from instruction to delegation takes an unprecedented operational shift, and it's going to be an exceptional challenge for leaders. What's being automated? The executional, repetitive layers of marketing are going first: campaign setup and trafficking, bid management and budget allocation, A B test creation and analysis, basic segmentation and list management, reporting and dashboard generation, content volume production, first drafts of emails, ad copy, social posts. These tasks aren't going away. They're just no longer being done by humans sitting at keyboards. What's being elevated? Here's where it gets interesting. As AI handles execution, the premium on human judgment goes up, not down. According to Gartner, 65% of CMOs say advances in AI will dramatically transform their role within 2 years. But only 5% of teams using generative AI purely as a tool without piloting agents report significant gains. The insight there is important. If you're just using AI as a faster typewriter, you're not getting the benefit. The benefit comes from redesigning how you work entirely. The roles that are growing in value right now: strategic AI governance. Someone has to define the guardrails. What can the agent do autonomously? What requires human approval? What are the brand values it must never violate? This is a new senior level function. Prompt engineering and agent training. Not the kind of prompt engineering where you get ChatGPT to write a clever email. I mean training complex, multi-agent systems on your brand voice, historical performance, compliance requirements, and strategic objectives. This is a technical creative role that didn't exist 3 years ago. AI performance analysis. Agents optimize, but humans still need to evaluate whether they're optimizing for the right things. Are we maximizing click through rate at the expense of brand equity? Are we winning the short term conversion game but losing long term customer trust? These are judgment calls that require human wisdom. Creative direction. As AI handles volume, the most differentiated creative work, the big ideas, the emotional resonance, the cultural relevance becomes more valuable, not less. AI can spin 10,000 variations of an ad. It still needs a human to come up with the one idea worth varying. The job title of marketing manager in 2028 will look a lot more like agentic workflow architect. The title may not change, but the skills required absolutely will. And here's something I think is really worth sitting with. At Davos earlier this year, January 2026, the tone among marketing and technology leaders wasn't awe anymore. It was urgency. AI capability is compounding, regardless of disagreements among technologists about timelines. But marketing organizations are still planning as if change is incremental. The organizations that are winning are the ones that have reorganized around AI, not just adopted tools from it. And here's something I think is really worth sitting with. at Davos earlier this year, January 2026, the tone among marketing and technology leaders wasn't awe anymore. It was urgency. AI capability is compounding, regardless of disagreements among technologists about timelines. But marketing organizations are still planning as if change is incremental. The organizations that are winning are the ones that have reorganized around AI, not just adopted tools from it. What you should actually do a practical playbook. Alright, let's make this actionable. Whether you're a solopreneur, a marketing manager at a mid sized company, or a CMO at an enterprise, here's what the smartest practitioners are doing right now. Step 1. Audit your tech stack for agent readiness. Google's team recommends a 90-day audit. Which platforms you use offer API access for integration? Where are your data silos? Which workflows could be handed to an agent today with clear guardrails? And which ones require more human judgment? Start mapping this now. Step 2. Start with single agent, bounded use cases. Don't try to deploy a fully autonomous master agent that runs your entire marketing operation on day one. That's the fastest way to a disaster. Instead, identify a high volume, low stakes workflow A, B test management, ad bid optimization, basic lead scoring, and deploy a single agent there with clear success metrics and human oversight. Step 3. Build your governance framework before you need it. Remember, only 8% of teams have proper AI governance. Be in that 8% before you scale. Define what decisions require human approval, what brand guidelines are non negotiable, what data is the agent authorized to use, who is accountable when something goes wrong. Step 4. Invest in first party data like your business depends on it, because it does. As AI agents, both yours and your customers, increasingly mediate the relationship between brands and buyers, the quality and depth of your first party data becomes your single most important competitive asset. Platform native AI tools require clean, rich, first party data. Without it, you're invisible to the algorithms. Step 5. Evolve your team's skill set now. Start cross training people. Encourage your copywriters to learn prompt engineering. Have your data analysts experiment with agent configuration. Get your strategists comfortable thinking about outcomes and constraints, not just tactics. The transition from tool operator to agent manager requires new mental models, and those take time to develop. Step 6. Get comfortable with human in the loop checkpoints. The goal isn't full autonomy on day one. The goal is a thoughtful expansion of agent authority over time as trust is built and governance systems are proven. Multi-agent systems that work best in 2026 maintain human in the loop checkpoints for brand safety, budget approvals, and strategic alignment. Autonomy is earned, not assumed. I want to close with the thought that I keep coming back to. Every major technology platform that ever reshaped marketing, the internet, mobile, social media, programmatic advertising, eventually became table stakes. If you didn't adapt, you got left behind. Not immediately, but inevitably. Agentic AI is on that same trajectory. And we're somewhere in the early innings right now. The gap between early adopters and everyone else is still bridgeable, but that window doesn't stay open forever. Here's how I'd summarize everything we've talked about today. Agentic AI is not just smarter automation. It is a new category of System 1 that reasons, plans, acts, and learns. It is already executing marketing campaigns without human intervention, and in many cases, outperforming the ones humans built. But it carries real risks: brand safety, data quality, accountability gaps, and the erosion of brand ownership that most teams are not adequately prepared for. And the future of marketing roles isn't about humans versus machines. It's about humans who understand, machines outcompeting humans who don't. The skill premium is shifting from execution to strategy, from prompting to governance, from doing to designing the systems that do. The question isn't whether agentic AI is coming for your marketing stack. It already has. The question is, are you going to be the one who designed the agent or the one the agent replaced? That's it for today. If this episode made you think differently about where marketing is going, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a message, leave a review, or share this episode with a colleague who needs to hear it. The links and resources we referenced today will be in the show notes below. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep your humans in the loop.